Hi, this is Mrs. Duncan. I'm going to explain to you how to use our online library to find articles from our online library databases. So I'm on the home page and I'm going to find right over here to the right the tab that says Library Services. You should also look in Blackboard because with this assignment I'm going to have a link directly to our library course guide, but I'm going to show you how to get to this through our Lawson website. So I'm clicking on Library Services, and there's a lot of information here, but for today we're just going to go up to the top right and set where it says you can go one of two ways, log into databases here, but the link I'm going to have in our course is going to be to the course guide. So course guides are set up for all the courses at Lawson State, and they're listed alphabetically. So ENG is going to be down here with the E's, ENG 101, English Composition 1. And like I said, there will be a link in our course that would have that. And if I look here in this course, and I look in the week 6 that I happen to talk about this, you're going to see the library link for English 101 resource databases. So once we get here, we have a lot of useful information. The first one is when you're accessing off campus, you many times will have to be asked to sign in because this is a restricted resource only for enrolled Lawson State students. And so that's typically going to be, it says here to sign in with your email login, and then you can access the databases from off campus. If you're having a problem, it does say you can call them during business hours, email them at askalibrarian at lawsonstate.edu, and their library hours are there. So it's always good not to wait till after hours to try this from home so you can get the help you need in an immediate way. There are different ways to do this. The way that I'm showing you that I would show you in class if you missed is many times I assign on the first assignment a specific database, but these are ones that are used for basic information and research. The assignment that we have is to start with one from the Opposing Viewpoints database. These little letters AVL stand for Alabama Virtual Library, which means they're hosted really by a library that you would have access to as a resident of Alabama as well. And this is put out by a company called Gale. All right. They also have the one up here at the top called Academic One File. Another major producer of databases is this one that begins with an E, and that stands for Ebsco. I like to refer to them as the Home Depot and Lowe's of academic and other kinds of resources that we use at the college level. So we're going to click on this in a second. It says it draws on the acclaimed social issues that were originally published. You used to get these in a book in the library, and now it is online, and they have all kinds of articles in here related to social issues. Viewpoint articles, topic overviews, statistics, primary documents, website links, and full-text magazine and newspaper articles. If you know anything about those, you know that many of these, especially the magazine and newspaper articles, you have to have a subscription to those. And that's what's going to be in these other ones too, up at the top, like full coverage of the New York Times back to 1995. Being an enrolled student gives you access to not just thousands of articles, but millions of articles and millions of dollars worth of content that just all of it isn't online for free. And some of it may be, but it's not going to be as organized and put together. They're going to do things like your Mla Citation for you, which is an advantage over finding it, out on your own. So I'm going to click on the title, and it's going to take us here to Gale's In Context Opposing Viewpoints. We'll always call it the Opposing Viewpoints database because they take social issues where people have differing or opposing points of view. They have different perspectives. Some people are for something and others are against it. Sometimes we just disagree on how to solve a problem. It's not that we think everything's right or wrong. Some of them are right or wrong. Some of them are just what we should do, what we should not do, or that something is a problem that should be solved. There's different ways you can find a topic, and that's the first part of the assignment, is you have to find an issue that is listed here. So if you have one in mind, you can type it up here in the search box, just like you would for Google. But if you're not certain, they have some that you can scroll across that are very, kind of recent, not as much as written, but there might be some there. Then they have issues organized according to subject areas, and you might want to find one that kind of goes with the subject area that you are interested in, like health and medicine, or science and technology, or energy and the environment, or society and culture, whatever, or business. But you can I suggest you just browse all of the issues. They're listed alphabetically, and each one of these has its own almost like web site inside the Opposing Viewpoints database. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm interested in something about the pharmaceutical industry, which is the prescription drug industry. So I click on that one. This entire page houses thousands of articles, and even more than that. Like, look at that, 2,441. That number means how many journals articles are there. Over 42,000 news articles, 104 viewpoint articles. So just thousands of articles, links to websites, all organized. This overview article, and it's just the first paragraph, that is not what we're looking for today, but that gives background information and that has its use. For this particular assignment, we're going to be trying to find a viewpoint article to narrow down the issue. So I would, they have featured ones, and then they have 104. Okay, let's say I don't know that much about it, and I'm going to click on the featured viewpoints. Okay, and I notice that most of these are going to be this past year, 2021. And something catches my eye. Drug companies keep merging. Why that's bad for consumers and innovation. One of the things that I ask for this assignment is that you pick a viewpoint article that has an author, and that's usually the case, but just making sure that you have an author, and they're already listed there. They already tell you kind of somewhat where this came from for the assignments that we do. But let me just click on this one. One more thing. You want something that has some depth to it. If it's too short, there's not going to be as much for you to write about. And if you choose one too long, it takes too long to get through them. But most of them are around 1,000 words to maybe 1,200 words. I would stay away from something that's significantly lower. Okay, so I'm going to pick this one. It's kind of right in the middle. When I open it up, a lot of the information that you're going to need for Essay 2 to evaluate is right up here on the top. There's information, there's a link right here to Robin Feldman. You have your date that you're going to need, the Washington Post, all this kind of information. But for today, if I kind of just read through the background of this article and maybe read a little bit to see if this is what I'm interested in, I'm going to scroll down and kind of overview. Okay, that's long, but it's not really that long. There's two things you'll need today for this assignment. One is the Mla Citation. It's right down here at the bottom. You can just copy paste that in. Yeah, there's another way to get it as well, and that is up at the very top of our page where it says Cite, C-I-T-E. Okay, and then there it is again, and we just use MLA for our class. The second thing you have to do if you choose this one is download it. You see the button there at the top for downloading. So you download it to your computer. That typically goes to your downloads. You'll need to find it there, and then you will use it to upload. It'll be a file on your computer, and then you upload that to your assignment where it says to upload the database article. I'm going to do one more just to kind of show you a different way to get in. Okay, so if that's it, you understand, then this is over. If you'd like to see one more illustration, I'm going to type in something that I have know something about soda tax, and I'm going to search on that, and I find that there are 8 viewpoint articles in 2 academic journals and 311 news articles. So it's enough to do some work with. And I'm going to go down here because the assignment is to find a viewpoint article. Sometimes they're very easy to see the controversy that is in this. This one by Michael Marlowe and Alden Shires, it says soda tax would not help reduce obesity, published in a publication called Nutrition. And the same publication had one by Kelly Brunell who said a soda tax would help reduce obesity. And so there's not an overview article on it, but let's say I'm going to pick this one. Mexico's soda tax is working. The U.S. should learn from it by Lizzie Wade. It's got about 1,600 words, and it's a little bit newer than the other two. So I'm going to click on the title. You see the organization again, and it has information up here at the top. What do I need if I decide to use this one? Because this is the topic I'm going to deal with for this particular assignment. I am going to scroll down and look how it has the red the words that I put in the search, and there's the citation. Okay, now this is required, so we have to, in college papers you have to use the MLA citation for every source you use, quote from, get content, any information from. And so when you refer to an article, and you just have to have that, but this is done for you. Okay, it's almost never done for you already out in the World Wide Web. Matter of fact, this one was originally, and most of these are originally published somewhere else, it was published in a news source online called Wired. And if I just search for that right there, hopefully that's coming up where we can see, I can find out about that. And that's in our upcoming assignments. But we could have found it possibly through this. If it didn't require a subscription, then maybe we could get access to it, but it does require a subscription. And so, but let's just say, if we were looking for it, it wouldn't be already kind of organized this way for you. Okay. And again, you go up to the top, you can find the citation this way. You have to have that, and you have to download it. So it just kind of popped in down there at the bottom, if you can see the bottom left. And I'm clicking on it and it opens it up. There's that article. That's what I would see from you, because you would download it to your computer and make sure it goes into your whatever you wanted it to go in your file.